That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Absolute Zeros podcast. I am Josh, and with me again is the man, the legend, Mr. Know-It-All. How are you doing, sir?
What's up, my know-it-alls? I'm good, brother. I'm real good. Thank you.
So it's been a minute. I know it's been a minute. So last episode, we kind of did some stuff about the Acolyte, which we're gonna be talking about.
Man, we're looking forward to that second season. We're talking about all the stuff.
Definitely looking forward to that third season.
I'm sure it was gonna be great.
We need more Plagueis, yeah. Oh, it's gotta be rough. It's gonna be rough. All right, so
for Star Wars, man.
Yeah, I know. All right, so this week we got quite a few things to talk about. First and foremost, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
that is going to be coming out very soon. An amazing movie. Not perfect, but definitely a very fun movie. Okay. Now, the thing that we're going to be talking about today is that it's dropping very soon. Like I think then within the next week or so, or something like that.
Yeah.
And we're getting a 4K edition. We're also getting, on that 4K edition, an edition that has no VFX. You're getting the raw footage of the movie.
I'm really excited.
It's gotta be so much fun. Yeah, I saw clips of it when they announced it, because it's been announced for over a month or so, but I haven't heard anyone talking about this. I haven't even heard Quarter Digital talking about this, which is amazing. True. Because they would go bananas for this. They would absolutely go bananas for this.
So I saw it. Believe it or not, I saw it on LinkedIn. Is where I saw it for the studio.
Really?
LinkedIn had like a blurb about it with a couple of screenshots, and they did a side by side showing with the different, like what it was going to, how it's the movie, and it looks great.
It does.
It looks amazing, and you get to see the actual actors acting, and. I'm just like, but I don't mean to be funny, but like seriously, it's hard to appreciate sometimes because we're so busy appreciating what the VFX did, and VFX has to redo everything. Essentially, they're recreating the stuff, and they're just going with the movement data. Mm-hmm. And so seeing, like, there's one shot where in the real movie, it's a close up of the new king guy walking, but they shot it further away, but they have the movement capture data, so that's all that matters.
Yeah,
so but it looks, I'm just to see what they did and the work they put in, and he's just talking. His big speech is to a big empty stadium with like 4 extras, so he has someone to talk to.
What a wonderful day!
And I'm like, that is so cool.
Proximus Caesar. Yes. Loved it. Loved him as a character. As the actor is amazing. I'm looking forward to watching this movie again with no VFX. Seeing how
crazy.
I heard it is over like 40 petabytes, which is insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. If you guys are thinking about checking Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes out, it's on streaming right now, but if you guys want a physical release, if you guys want to check out the behind the scenes version, definitely check out that, and definitely pick up the 4K version. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
definitely gonna be interesting. All right, so speaking of movies that have come out or are going to be coming out very soon and streaming. Borderlands, and got a bit of bile in the back of my throat after saying that. Borderlands came out a week or two ago, and
it did.
Amazing reviews, absolutely stellar freaking reviews.
Oh yeah,
beautiful 0 reviews.
Oof.
Now that was when it first came out. Currently on Rotten Tomatoes, the updated score is 10% for the tomato meter and 53% for the audience score, which is what I gravitate towards to more. I can understand 50% of the people liking it, but having seen the movie, woof.
Yeah, it's rough. I'm not a video game guy in terms of like that, but like it's funny. I knew of the game, but I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't really like ever played it. And so when I saw the first trailer, my immediate instinct was this looks a lot like they're going for that Guardians of the Galaxy energy. Okay, I mean
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. And then when you see the movie, it's not really like the trailer really tried hard to sell you on something, and the movie's not that.
They gave us a Sony trailer for
Yeah.
this. If you guys know Sony trailers, they tend to over exaggerate and maybe spoil endings a bit, just
Yeah.
not give us the movie that is actually on screen. And
Yeah.
so I've never played the actual Borderland games myself. I've played a bit of Tales from the Borderlands, but I know of the Borderlands. I've seen people play it myself. So seeing this movie when it was first announced, I was kind of hyped. Like, okay, this is cool. This game has been in development hell for over a decade.
Right? I thought like
Emphasis on that.
I'd
Emphasis on
heard.
that.
I thought I'd heard of it a long time ago.
Oh yeah, they've been trying to get this on off the ground for years, and
Like I
it's
think I
just
saw the
never gone
announcement
anywhere.
back when there was a Collider movie talk. Like that's how far
Hmm.
back the announcement goes. Like John
Oh
Campea
yeah,
and all them on Collider.
yeah, absolutely. Probably even AMC Movie Talk, but yeah, back when that was a thing.
That's real. For real. That's so far back.
AMC Movie Talk. So yeah, uh, this emphasis on this has been in development hell for over a decade. This movie has had an estimated budget of $115 million,
Mm.
and at the time of recording this, because we're recording on a Saturday, it has had an estimated box office of whoa, $23.7
Ooh.
million.
Wow, that's a bad opening day. And
That's
this is
a
how many
bad
weeks?
run.
But how many weeks is it? But I'm saying like that's like that
It's been
by itself would
in
have been a
theaters
horrible
since
first
the
day.
ninth.
Oh, bro, that's and the only reason I think it stayed in theaters as long as it did is because a lot of these places were under contractual obligation for a minimum of 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, I can absolutely see that. Yeah, so this movie is not great, not not great, not overly terrible, I guess, but it's just one of those movies, and it's also being reported allegedly that it will be going to streaming sometime this week. So
That'd be fun.
yeah, wish I hadn't paid that $7 for the ticket. Never pay full price for a movie you can get on.
No, it's real. It's real.
Yeah. So
You're
it's
never gonna get that money. You're gonna get that time in your life back. It's just not happening.
I need my hour and a half back. But it is being reported, allegedly, currently, that by Kotaku, that Borderlands is going to be put on streaming uh, in the coming week or two. So if that happens, check it out and see what you guys think for yourself.
Yeah.
But I honestly wouldn't recommend it. The So when this movie first was announced in the past couple years, when the casting list came out, I've seen people playing the games. I've seen people cosplaying the characters. The actors in this movie, most of the actors in this movie, don't look like or act like the characters in the
No,
video games at
absolutely
all.
not. Yeah.
Mad Moxie is probably one of the only exceptions, just because Mad Moxie is gorgeous as hell in both the movie and the games. But yeah, the casting for this was absolutely wild. You have Kate Blanchett as Lilith. You have Kevin Hart as Roland.
How do you get someone of Cate Blanchett's caliber? Like, how do you get her? And like, I want to know either A, was this? I feel like this was like an acting exercise. Like somehow she was like, I want to see what I can do, because she's, no offense, she's not an actor. She's a genuine thespian. Okay,
she is
like legit
professional.
Yeah, legit. Like, no offense, she does not belong in that lineup of actors who are in this.
A lot of this cast didn't.
Well, I feel bad.
You have Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis.
Oh yeah, I'm like, honey, why? Why did you you just want to go have fun, which is fine, but it didn't even feel like they were having fun.
It felt like they were. It felt like they were all phoning it in.
Very much, I agree with that. 100%.
This felt like, even for Jamie Lee Curtis, with her in the recent Halloween movies, like the first recent Halloween movie back in 2018, Halloween.
Yeah.
She looked like she was having a blast with that.
She really did.
And in this, it just looks like she's like, it.
I don't know what to do with that. I'm sorry. That was great. No, that was hilarious. But yeah, no, for real. And I feel like, so Kevin Hart has both notoriously and very conspicuously has said he wants, because he did it in his little comedy side short things he's doing, where he wants to be an action star. And I believe this was their attempt to take that seriously, because if you notice, he's not being his normal Kevin Hart self.
No.
Though you can't take away his voice and delivery, he's not trying to be
like, he's not trying to be the comedic lead.
No. He's trying to be a somewhat. I feel like because he's like, y'all gonna take me seriously. I'm being serious right now, and it's like, no.
He's just going to Chris Tucker.
Really? Because he's so crazy hype. Like, I don't know, what are you doing, dude? I know you want this to be your action role, but no.
Like, dude has had roles in action movies before. He was decent though, but he was more comedic in those as well. So I understand his want to transition from being a comedy lead or a comedy action lead to drama. That in itself is very hard to break into.
True. No, you're real.
Very hard to break into. Robin Williams is probably one of the best examples of a comic doing amazing in dramatic roles.
I agree.
But
he does. Robin Williams is amazing. But even then, even his dramatic roles, once in a while he looked like a guy who had a good sense of humor, but he wasn't a funny guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference, is you can't help but see Kevin Hart as the funny guy. I kept waiting for him to make jokes. And instead,
this Roland looks like he's got to make jokes.
The whole thing, I'm like, dude, you don't understand. Like, bro, I want to tell him this whole thing was a joke, and you shouldn't have done it. And I felt so bad for him. I felt so bad.
It's just a really bad performance, really bad movie for these characters. One of the characters that I actually really enjoyed in the Borderlands games and her spin-off game, Tiny Tina, the actress, Ariana Greenblatt.
Yeah.
I don't think she was a very good choice for this character. I don't think she delivered her lines very well.
No.
It just felt flat. It felt like a very grown-up different style version of Tiny Tina. Can't really even say it's Tiny Tina with the delivery.
Agreed.
It felt very off. It just felt very off.
Yeah.
And then the last major notable actor in this was Jack Black as Claptrap.
He was so annoying.
I love
R2D2 annoying. Like, he was just, and he felt dated. And I don't know if that was what they were trying to go for, or if it was just like a creative choice he made. But it sounded like he was a robot that was built in the 90s. It was very weird.
It did really feel weird. I love seeing all the edits on YouTube Shorts and TikToks of just him, and whenever he's getting shot by all the all the creeps, crazers. It's funny. It's like
Exactly that right there.
it's hilarious.
Too
It's
much
probably the only funny bit of the movie that I
for
like.
real. No, it was. You're right.
But uh, I don't know this. Again, this movie has been in development hell for over a decade, and it shows because this feels like it needed to be in the era of old video game adaptation movies.
Yeah, the it's funny. One of the writers on the movie that's credited is actually a pseudonym that is used predominantly for people who ask to have their names taken off of a project.
You talk about Joe Crombie?
Yes,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I'm sitting here going, who one? It is a feat to become a Hollywood writer,
Yeah, absolutely.
and the fact that you go forward, you're like, yeah, just
Like you're begging to be taken off
get my
this.
name off this, please.
Yeah.
It needs to be off this, and I felt so bad for him, whoever the writer was, whoever that uncredited person was. But
I don't think we'll ever know, but yes.
no, yeah.
So yeah,
Big
let's
rubbish.
hope not, because hopefully they can do a lot better.
Yeah, no, for real.
But the Borderlands movie was written and directed primarily by Eli Roth, who has done decent movies and really good movies in the past, like
Yeah,
Inglorious Bastards.
he's very hit or miss. He
Yes.
either does an amazing job or you get Borderlands. Like, and it's weird. It's just very strange to me. I don't know why they do that.
I don't know either, but he also did Thanksgiving from last year. It's a horror movie. He did Death Wish.
Wait, I don't know how you feel about that one. See, he also did The House with the Clocks on the Walls, and I actually love that movie.
Was it any good? I didn't even see it. It looked interesting.
It was good for being we're a secret magical organization knockoff. It's not Harry Potter, but it's like it's one of those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it, and it was fun overall. But yeah, I mean, most of the other movies aren't really. I don't know. Groundhouse is real niche. Knock Knock is just what it sounds like. It's just softcore porn, and then Hostels are the Hostel movies, and it's like. So I don't know.
Yeah, like you said, he's very hit or miss. It's a shame because this is a movie that everyone has been wanting to see on the big screen for a long time, and it's a shame because just recently this year, Fallout came out, and it was amazing, and it didn't follow a story from the games. It just followed the lore, and it was amazing.
Although about sidebar real quick, not to go down a rabbit trail, they have they have expressed that this storyline will be part of the next game. Whenever the next game is they're like, we want to merge the elements that you have seen from this. So like vaults we saw that were not in the real game, but were in this show will show up in the next game. Possibly you'll cross paths. Like we won't be those characters, but you'll cross paths with more of those characters from the show, which I think is cool. Hey man, let it expand the lore, but it didn't have to do anything. Like it wasn't dependent on a storyline that was dedicated. It was just like, here's the world of Fallout, and we're going to introduce you to some new events. Brilliant take. This, on the other hand, I don't know. I didn't understand what this was trying to be exactly. I know. I mean, they have the crazy guy, which is notoriously the face on the video game box.
Yeah.
But like, other than that, what was this trying to be?
I have no clue whatsoever. And what's sad is that right after the movie was released, we get the reveal that we're getting a Borderlands 4 game, and which, in my personal opinion, I think that's what they were hoping for. Like, I think they were hoping that, oh, hey, the movie's going to be great. Let's get that hype rolling into the new game.
That's right.
The movie didn't do great, so now there's so much less hype for the new game. I'm so disheartened by that because it could have been so much. Oh,
it's better. Gonna be rough. Yeah, it's gonna be rough for them to pick up the pieces after this.
Yeah, it definitely is. Another one last quick thing, and then we can move on from this, is that I've been seeing a lot of people just like dissecting the movie or dissecting trailers or clips. And there's one that I noticed that I don't think anyone ever caught in the editing bay. It's when the characters are opening the tunnel, like in that trailer, they're opening the cover.
Yes.
There is a crew member on camera being shown helping them lift that.
I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm like, y'all got to stop. Y'all have to stop. This is not good.
Please do better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this would have been so much more interesting as an animated movie.
I'm with you. You could have done so much really good stuff with that.
Like, you could have done the cell shading.
Brilliant. You're right. The thing lends itself to why not just borrow from that and make it look just like it? You know, I mean, yeah.
Or why not just have your live action characters have a little bit of cell shading on them? Cosplayers do it. Why can't you?
That's so true. Cosplayers do it
for much less of a budget than what Hollywood studios have.
Agreed.
It's so annoying. Anyways,
so I'm with you.
Oh my god. Well, yeah. So moving on from movies that have been disappointments, let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum.
Sure.
Movies that were amazing. So, Mr. Know-It-All, what did you think of Alien Romulus?
Okay, the only harsh criticism I have is it felt like they brought in the young pretty kids, but other than that, I loved the world. Felt like the world we were familiar with. This feels like the logical, because within the timeline of things, it takes place after Alien but before Aliens, because Aliens is 50 years in the future after Ripley gets rescued or found from the cryo tube thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I liked where this lives, and I'm actually like, if I were to watch the series, I would like once it's out, I would watch Alien Romulus, and I mean we'll see where Alien Earth and all that nonsense fits in the end. But at the end of the day, I say nonsense. Forgive me. That's my catchphrase for stuff. Is nonsense. I don't actually think it's nonsense. Yeah, but no, I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it carried the torch well. We got to see a lot of really interesting. I don't know. Are we spoiling or anything?
Yeah, I was waiting till you're.
It was fine. Yeah,
but I will say that
cool callback stuff and
callbacks. Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah, I loved it too. And I will say I don't actually have a graphic up because I forgot it. But we will be spoiling it. We will be spoiling this because it's been out for a week at time of this. So yeah,
you haven't seen it.
If you haven't seen it, you're not interested. You're just watching The Crow, which everyone forgot about that.
I won't. I didn't.
Me either.
Not because it's a bad movie, and I've heard from everyone I trust it's a bad movie, but because I was never into the Crow movies. I respect the first one for what it was, and I tried to watch the first one. I kind of fell asleep several times, which is bad. Yeah. I'm just a bad fan about stuff like that. Yeah. But it wasn't my thing. But this was just not good either, I hear. Anyway, sorry. That's all.
Anyways, So spoiling the hell out of Alien Romulus.
Copy.
This was. In my opinion, I think this was maybe an 8.5, maybe a 9. But
wow,
dude, okay. it was great. I loved it. Being a fan of the Alien movies, not so much a fan of the newer movies that Ridley Scott has done, like Prometheus and Covenant and whatnot. Like those were
Ridley Scott. Prometheus was a weird turn because it's the Unit 1. I don't know why it even had to be what it was, but I understand why it was, and I enjoyed it until I didn't. If that makes sense,
I absolutely understand that.
Like I'm sitting here like this looks cool. I like the world you're building, and then all of a sudden they take a hard left, and you're like, okay,
where are the aliens? Can we get back to that now?
Yeah, it was very strange.
I don't know.
So I guess he's got all philosophical, and that's how he ended up with Prometheus. And then he was like, "Oh my bad, I'm sorry. Here's Covenant."
This is the actual movie that we're supposed to watch.
Yeah, totally. This is the one I meant to sell you. Anyway,
no, yeah, those movies are just really weird, and I can't really understand them to this day. Like I go back watching them, it's like,
No, for sure. I agree. I agree.
Okay. But yes, Alien Romulus is a movie that takes place between the first Alien movie and the second Alien movie. And we know that because they give us time dates and we get to see Bishop in this movie.
Bro,
I was not expecting him at all,
but,
and it's amazing.
It's the model. It isn't actually Bishop. It's the model of it.
Yeah.
But I thought was still cool.
Yeah.
And I think he's called Rook in this, which I thought was. I was like, oh, fun! You're keeping to the chess themes. I get it. But yeah, no, it was very, very cool, and to see, which brought up a lot of questions, like ethical questions, but according to Fede Alvarez, the estate of Ian Holmes was down and no issue, and I'm like, okay, well, right on.
As long as we are all in agreement.
Which I feel like, I don't
perfectly
know,
fine.
maybe this was the experiment for actors that have passed and their estates still being able to make some money from their likeness and stuff.
I mean, they did that in Rogue One with Peter Cushing as well.
They
So
did. They
I mean,
really
that
did.
wasn't perfect, but it was a nice cameo.
Agreed. Yeah,
And
although I kind of liked the rubber mask from the prequels, like far, far away, you couldn't see him, as when Tarkin has dark hair.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I see what you did. Interesting.
Yeah, it was great. So a bit of backstory to this. Alien Romulus is, again, set between the first two movies. It's involving a group of young adults who are, I want to say, indentured servants to the Weyland Yutani Corporation mines, and they can't get out of it. They're trying to get out to go get away from this evil corporation, because it is an evil corporation, just like Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And their only way that they're able to do this is to hijack a space station that is about to descend and get destroyed by the planet rings, because they have like 5 or 6 working cryotubes that are able to be used to get to another planet, because that's the only way you can travel in space at this.
They don't have faster than light. They just have really, really fast, but you still have to be asleep to make it the rest of the trip.
Yeah, it's weird. And then you also have the obligated synth.
Oh my god, I love this guy. I love him so much.
He's great for all the times he's not being a synth.
Who would think to create a synth with a
disability?
Right. And I thought that was so interesting. It was a cool take, especially when later, since we're spoiling, at some point or another, the usual thing happens, but they show it to you in that he receives information that from the Weyland blah 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 company with specific orders. It's the same thing that happened to Bishop.
Yeah,
it's the same thing that happens in the future, whatever. It's their ultimate thing, and because of how he's been built, it kind of puts him at odds with himself. It's a very cool. I know that I'm supposed to, but I don't want to. I don't know. I feel like the disability they built into him almost gave him a loophole to be able to question. He was very like, I don't know what to do, but I know that I have to do this.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm like,
okay, I feel you. I loved having that tension and that drama, because normally the synths are very. Everything's totally fine, and now I'm going to try to get you killed because we need our sample of whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, oh wait, what? Anyway, I liked this take a lot. I thought
same. So the synth Andy is played by David Johnson, who does phenomenal in this. Really? Now, with us having a synth in this movie, obviously, I was a little wary at the start and all the way through, because our history in the Alien universe with synthetic robots or synthetic people. Now, when he got the chip stuck in his brain, you always have that moment thinking like, okay, some shit is about to go down. I know this is probably going to turn him. I'm really hoping it doesn't.
Agreed.
But then you get the reveal like, oh no, shit. He's become a corporate tool now. Where this is so
He's become a corporate tool. Yeah, no, for real. Literally.
Oh my god. So the cast of characters, the the Goonie characters that we have in this are Kaylee Spaney as Rain, the main protagonist, Archie Renault as Tyler, Isabel Merced as Kay, Spike Fern as Bjorn, and Aileen Wu as Navarro.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked her character a lot, especially like that one part. It's the part from the trailers. Everyone's seen it because it looks so neat. She grabs, even though I thought it was super contrived, but whatever. It looked dramatically, it was cool. She grabbed, like, she's clearly got a thing going on. It's about to happen, and she grabs this like scanner device thing that normally they use to look, and she puts it, and it like shines the light of it through her whole torso. And I'm like, oh my god, that's the neatest way to see it. It just looked very, very cool.
Yes, absolutely. No, I'm gonna be a little. I was looking forward to seeing Bjorn kick the bucket, just because he's an asshat.
No, totally.
Now, I completely understand when Andy went corporate tool and was like, the thing I got to do. I don't want to do it, but it's for the missions, it's protect Rain. I got to do it. And I was like, yes, baby boy, kill them all. Kill them all.
That's awesome. Right on,
like,
man.
There's an alien in her chest. Kill her. Kill her.
Totally. She's got to go.
Yeah.
Like, or she was, I always see, but I was always of like, oh my god, he's gonna somehow knock her out, whatever, stick her in a cryo tube, or kill her, and before she can die, stick her in a cryo tube, like, because you got to preserve the sample. Because what's funny, this is one of, I see this whole movie as prequel done right, prequel to Aliens, because this is where we find out how much truly Wayland knows the company. You know what I mean? Like, we find out, because you get implications in Aliens and other stuff, like, they always knew, oh my gosh. And now you're getting to see it. And this is one of those rare times where I didn't know I wanted to know that. And now I'm like, this is how they know. And so.
Yeah, it's almost like this entire corporation is built on the sole purpose of getting xenomorphs.
But then they did another thing that I wasn't expecting. They explain the motivation, which is that people are the only thing that you got to learn. If you can improve people, and that's what they want. That's where and this is the part that suddenly, when the minute the black goo showed up, I was like,
oh shit, I know.
You guys are trying to connect this to Prometheus.
Yes.
Aha. Okay. Now I'm seeing, and I even though I'm not a big fan of Prometheus toward the latter part, I dug that. And I was like, okay.
Like, this shit is, this goo is bad. This is a bad goo. Like, no.
Oh, and how bad is it? It's
it's very bad.
So I had heard before seeing it, because I didn't see it on the opening weekend. I waited. I saw it Thursday.
Yeah,
and I was actually reviewing it on a Thursday. I saw it on Wednesday on another thing I do, and I was warned that there was something that was really, really rough. Chicky gets pregnant. Or infected, or not pregnant in the usual way, but it's the black goo thing and the whole bit. And so what we get is this, and I remember thinking to myself, are they really taking a note from Alien Resurrection right now?
I know. I saw that call back, call forward. It was
so weird.
Very weird.
And then the end result was this like Slender Man, like almost. But with the face of an engineer, at least the way it was portrayed.
Yes.
It was very, very. I was like, what's going on? What is this? It was that was one of the few things that confused, because there were some confusing bits. But overall, I like the aesthetic. Believe it or not, even though it's a bunch of CW looking young kids, the acting's not bad. Everyone's doing their job really well, and I was really surprised, because at first, my first blush, I was like, really? These pretty kids are refugees? And then you get into the story more, and it does start to make a lot more sense. Very tactile world, I liked. I was where everything is. There's a lot of CG in the world today, and this was felt like good old fashioned metal, like the grating and the whole
felt
look.
like it felt like it lived in the Alien universe. It felt old. It felt rusted.
This did a better job, I think, than The Force Awakens did in trying to live in the same universe. Because The
Yeah.
Force Awakens tried very hard, but you couldn't take the gloss off of it. Fetty and them out, because we're on a first name basis. Fetty Alvarez and them, they did a fantastic job making it feel dirty and lived in and junky. And you're like, oh yeah, these are the dregs of society in this place. The TVs were those analog looking, like everything was very much in line with what we've seen, regardless of anything else. And I was like, okay, I liked it. They pulled me in enough that I forgave a lot, including being grossed out later.
The two highlights of this movie that I really enjoyed, or one of the two highlights, is the way the movie started, like complete dead silence in the vacuum of space. That was realistic,
so cool,
amazing. It was homage to the first and probably I think second movie. I can't remember the beginning of that too well, but it sounded amazing. No one was talking in my theater, so I was like, "Oh yes, this is great." And
it was so quiet, right? It almost reminded me of A Quiet Place, in that it was so quiet that I noticed everyone got quiet.
Yes, I loved that in theaters. It's like no one was talking, just enjoying the movie.
Because we were all in it. We were all there.
It sucked you in immediately.
It does. It's a good movie. No, for real. Look, this is my little mini sales pitch. Go see this stupid thing if you haven't. It's good.
Yes, please go watch it. It's fun.
I'm shocked.
It's absolutely fun. And the second thing that I really enjoyed, because there's a lot of things, but the second thing I really, really enjoyed, the face hugger scene.
Okay, so
dude, when those bastards became unfrozen and just
I almost ran out of the building. I have severe arachnophobia, like legit. I'll kill every other bug in the house that shows up. My family has to rescue me from spiders.
It's like the building is just on fire when you see one.
They were so spider coated in this scene. So at one point they managed to get the ship. They managed to get the things they powered up, not realizing that in doing so they start thawing out all of the face huggers that are sitting there. And so next thing you know, it's the scene you've seen in the trailer, but it's 10 times worse than what you saw in the trailer.
Oh, big time.
They come exploding out, and I remember I was watching my father-in-law, who's a big, and I grabbed his hand, and he would look at me, and I was like, I'm sorry, because I was like I was having to do like
panic attack
under control. I was, because I'm so I went in knowing it was going to happen, because a friend of mine had seen it before and he warned me. He was like, "This is going to get you, bro." And so I mentally prepared myself as much as possible, and I still wasn't fully prepared. But at least I didn't run out, because I almost was like, "I'll come back in 5 minutes when this is done," and then it never really got done in 5. It was like more and more and more and more. Oh, sorry.
Both face hugger scenes were just anxiety driven.
And you see more than we've ever seen, almost to the point of being like,
it's like, holy shit!
Like, I'm like, should someone be blurring this out? It was bad. I was like, what is happening? Like, I would love to see the CinemaSins video if they have to blur it out for the YouTube algorithm.
Yes,
it's rough.
Oh my god! It was. And then you get the face hugger on the poster, and it's just like, oh my god, it's
not even. Did you see the promotional marketing stuff?
Yes, I did.
All over LA, people were like with face huggers on their face, and I'm like, that's
not normal.
You're gonna freak somebody out for real. Cut it out.
they're gonna think you actually have an alien in your chest and you're gonna kill you.
Like, do you need help? And you're like, shut up! I'm trying to get a job. You know, I'm trying to show them a good actor.
Trying to be in the next movie. Trying to be a victim here. Victim all your life? Okay.
I was gonna say, welcome to LA. No,
that's great. So Alien Romulus had an estimated budget of $80 million.
Beautiful. That is
amazing. That's exactly what a movie should be made for nowadays. Why the fuck are we making $300 million movies? $80 million.
Yeah, no, this is a good movie.
Oh yeah,
Anybody
and
who says it's like cinema's dead, but this was cinema, okay, bro? It was.
this was terrifying cinema,
Yes.
absolutely, and
Yeah.
it made its money back and quite a bit more.
Absolutely.
Currently has $129 million
And still going.
and
Like
still going.
it's got
And
legs, man.
yeah, right now it's just fighting Deadpool and Wolverine, just over
Oh,
$1 billion.
so you may or may not have heard, or people may have seen stills. There's this amazing scene where the what's her face is Rain. She's just unloading. Oh, because up until this point, you only think there's one, and then you go down this hallway, and there's like 4 or 5 of them or something
Mhm.
who are of the full blown xenomorphs, like and they're coming down the hall, and she's doing her thing, and then the gravity gives out and there's
Ooh, yeah.
acid floating,
Yes.
and where she's got to go is through it. So it's one of the most visually interesting scenes that I'm like, what a unique way to go about doing this thing that we know,
Hmm.
but in a new and super. I'm like, oh, this is dope. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very cool. Very cool.
I one last thing before moving on to the next topic, but I liked that in this movie, the directors, the production, the studio, whoever, I can't remember, they say that they give confirmation that every alien, every xenomorph we've seen on screen is fundamentally different from each other. Because I can see the xenomorph in the background, in your background as well, and it has a clear skull, and that is different from what we've seen
Very
in
cool.
anything else. Because we've seen green xenomorphs, we've seen acids,
Uh-huh.
whatnot. We've seen the original blacks, and it's just this is fundamentally different. And they've said that the xenomorphs and how they look, how they appear, how they act is a result of their environment, a result of their breeding as well.
I loved that we got such an in-depth look at them. It's funny because the movie, while being a prequel that gives you a lot of information,
Mhm.
I don't believe anything in this movie spoils Aliens. I feel
No,
like you could
absolutely.
watch Alien, this, and go into Aliens just fine. But
You
like
don't even.
we got to see that we got to find out how the aliens see.
Yeah.
That scene was so cool when they have to we got to make the whole place the same temperature as us because they see thermally
Hmm.
similar to the predators, which I believe which made me start thinking that's got to be a almost natural predatory evolutionary position. Like if you can see in infrared, you can almost fight anything. You know what I mean? It's such a cool. It's a neat. I don't know why I never really realized they were essentially blind, because if they can see you, but if you're quiet, it's almost like a quiet place, but not those aliens. Like it's such a neat idea that I'm like, why have I never thought of this? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
never went there in my brain, not once.
Not
And
one.
so I loved seeing the different types, knowing that they went into it with that in mind. It's not just the same dude in a suit, which by the way, they were super practical.
Oh
Like
yeah.
they brought back VFX people from the original movies who
They
now
were
have gone on and
thorough.
have their own companies. And we're
Yeah.
like, you know what you guys did and invented back then that got you famous, so you did your own thing? Come back
Can we
to
do it again?
do it here with all the knowledge you have now.
We're
And
gonna
it
make
was
it the best alien movie that's ever come out.
I mean, yes, yes. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. I mean, I still love the second. My favorite of all the Alien movies, Aliens. I love.
Yeah.
There's so many things in there that are iconic. My father's a huge Alien fan, so it could also be kind of a generational thing. But this movie fits right there in my opinion. This is the second Alien Romulus Aliens.
Like
That's
you
the
don't
order
like
we should go.
even if you know where this fits in the timeline, you don't have to watch this in any particular order. This can
Agreed.
be this you don't even have to watch this as a prequel. This is a solo alien movie
It
that
really is.
fits anywhere in the timeline if
Yeah.
you want it to. But
Agreed.
yeah, it phenomenal movie, amazing. Can't talk enough about it. Gotta talk more about it off screen. But it's definitely a movie that you should check out in theaters for the experience, for the fear factor. It's amazing,
So
guys.
much.
Absolutely amazing. Oh God.
Oh, I didn't realize we were gonna go so long on that, but it was there's a
Me
lot.
either.
It
It's
was
a
a
good
lot to
movie. It's a
cover.
good movie.
See, that's how I love. And by the way, sidebar, you're more than welcome to cut this out. I love that kind of the when we just like that, because that to me, this is good. This is good geeking out.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
good. We love this thing, and I'm like, not everything has to be doom and gloom and hate. Sometimes it's really good stuff, and you're like, wow, I can't believe we live in an era where we got this.
I know. Think 30 years ago, none of this could have been possible.
No way.
It's amazing. And speaking of doom and gloom and hate and all of that, yes, I'm keeping this in.
I know.
So last episode we dug a bit hard on the Acolyte,
We did.
and we just want to give a formal apology as to us being the reason the show got canceled.
Totally. Anything contributions we made, I'm sorry, guys.
We're the reason it got canceled. So we are sorry. We did not think anyone wanted to see this. So
No, it's real.
we called Kathleen Kennedy, like, okay, this could have been better. This is not great. I don't think you guys have an opportunity for season 2. Let's just shut it down. Just shut it down. All jokes aside, I am actually sad that this show is canceled. I wasn't a big fan of the first season, but I was definitely looking forward to seeing what a second season had for the characters. So, I mean, I know you've said your thoughts on it on TikTok, on
Sure.
Instagram, YouTube. So, what for my audience are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so the cancellation, as a Star Wars fan, anytime, because here's the thing, cancellations, believe it or not, hurt our fandom as a whole. Because
Absolutely.
I want more Star Wars, but sometimes things fall apart for whatever reason, and this and that. And I felt like this fell apart under the weight of several things. Most of all, though, was its budget. The budget for what we got was very disproportionate. This to me was a strictly financial decision. I don't believe it was because the show was bad or lesbian space witches or DEI in space. Bullcrap. This was strictly a financial decision based on we can't handle that level of, and they're not getting enough from it. Places like Netflix have a very specific algorithm that says, okay, based on the money we're going to spend, we're going to get this many subscribers, or our subscribers will stay, our retention will show. There's multiple factors, and they clearly weren't going to be able to benefit or keep financially make this tenable. Because believe it or not, and again, I've had tons of debates online about this as well. I also would have been, look, I may not have liked the first season, how it was put together, but I did a supercut and I see the story that was there. And I feel like there's a universe in which you could have given them the opportunity, like you've done in old contemporary television, which is a completely different beast, and said, okay, we're going to fix all the holes, try to make shore up our storytelling, and go in to get a stronger second season, maybe less episodes, whatever. But the problem was that you spent $180 million and you can't
for 8 episodes,
and you can't recover from that.
No,
and not to say that, but 8 episodes that weren't all an hour long. Versus House of the Dragon, I keep using that as an example because it's the only nearest comp I can come up with, where they spend $200 million and every episode's an hour or more, and it's solid, and you see the money on the screen. This was just too much, and that's sad. That's sad because again, I want them to do I want them to do an Ahsoka season 2. I would have liked to see a Mandalorian season 4, but it looks like more we're going to get the movie, and that's fine. I hope they revisit Obi-Wan if they can. I feel like, but the other part is the way the cancellation happened.
Yeah.
You don't we were never told they had greenlit a second season. So for them to announce that it was canceled felt weirdly like, who are you? That's the only thing that to me lends credence to some people who are like, you let yourself get bullied, is because you're sitting here going, boy, you guys took an awful lot of, you announced this thing pretty broadly. Why?
Yeah, the cancellation came quite a few weeks after this first season, the season finale dropped, and I would have totally taken the cancellation with a grain of salt if they had greenlit the second season, maybe waited another month or two and then canceled it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? We're not going to head in this direction anymore. We're just going to give our money to other better things like Skeleton Crew, which I'm
Right.
looking forward
Right.
to. But yeah, the way this was canceled, like out of the blue,
Yeah.
and it felt very much like they caved to the overwhelming masses.
Or even if they, or it's almost like some really poorly placed person in their marketing department was like, look, the board doesn't want us to dump any more money into this. It's clearly going to get canceled. We may as well try to do some PR against some of the bad press by announcing the cancellation. But even that, I'm like, and nobody was there to tell them that might send the wrong message.
Yeah.
Because really what you've done is you've given a vocal group, which, by the way, I don't necessarily disagree 100% with a lot of the thoughts in terms of the storytelling aspect. I do believe narratively this was all over the road, but I still liked the ideas that were put forward. I liked some of the execution, like the choreography was amazing.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, guys, don't feed into either of the bad camps that are out there. The extremists who are like, you canceled it and ruined everything I love, I'm going to kill myself. Or something like you're like, whoa. Whoa, time out. And then there's the other side who are like, ha ha ha, we won, down with Disney, burn the castle. And I'm like, dude, both camps, calm down.
From the get-go, from the very first episode, I was hearing and seeing nothing but negativity coming out from fans, and just like, I've been trying to defend this show from day one, because I understand that a rough first episode does not translate to a bad first season. And I mean, it wasn't a terrible season, but it wasn't great. So I mean,
right, it was a little. I like where it ended up going in terms of, this is the story you're trying to tell, which took
interesting
to tell us.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like I told my wife, I was like, I got it. I got where they were going. It just shouldn't have took them that long to get there. Is I think the ultimate problem I had. But I mean, hey, it's and then people try to compare it to things like, oh, what about, give it first season, like Buffy the Vampire season 1, or this show season 1. Yeah, but those shows are all a fraction of the cost. Somebody even tried to compare the retention level to, say, Ahsoka. But the difference is Ahsoka costs $100 million. Virtually every episode except like 2 was about an hour. It was 44 minutes, 46 minutes, 49 minutes. And 2 of them, I think, were 30 something, but even those were not, they were good. They felt good by themselves. So like it's not a fair comparison, because $80 million makes a big difference. That's almost twice the budget of the other show. So again, it all came down to money. It was a purely financial decision. So anybody out there who's like, we did it. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. They shot the showrunner shot themselves in the foot by making an expensive show that ultimately told a good story poorly. That's all that happened.
Yes, yeah. And what's even worse is that they're never going to get anything from the toy sales of this as well, because the toys have finally dropped in stores.
Yeah.
Disney took all the product off of their website. Yeah. There's no product. You can't find any Acolyte toys, anything about the Acolyte on their stores online. You only have to get it from like Walmart stuff, which I actually do see.
And you'll probably be able to get it at conventions, people who bought big stock. Yeah. So I mean, I would definitely, like, if you wanted that stuff, now's the time to find it at places like, when you go to cons or whatever else, and get it and get your hands on it, because it's going to be collectible. Even if things, because they disappeared the way they did, it's going to be worth having.
Yeah, disappeared overnight. So yeah, it's really, really weird. But like the only bit of merchandise that I was kind of looking forward to getting is Kamir's helmet. So I mean, that looked pretty cool. But
the Smilo Ren.
It's Smilo Ren, yeah.
But I dig it. I thought it looked cool.
It did look cool. I was more interested in seeing what it actually looked like under real lighting. So yeah, but the cancellation definitely sucks. It is just another ding in the long line of dings that that Disney Lucasfilm has had over the past few years, which isn't Kathleen Kennedy's fault. It's just a run of bad luck.
But isn't it though? And by that, no, by the way, I don't mean the way everybody else means it.
Yeah.
What I mean it as is, if you're the boss and something goes bad, you have to own some measure of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's the one at all who was like making this choice, making that choice, making this choice. But at the end of the day, it's like Kevin Feige, once he was given his authority back, was like, oh, no, I don't care if we add to Captain America's before his budget. You're going to go back and make the story better. And he stopped and did some things. And now we're seeing the benefit of that. At some point, I'm like, Kathleen, babe, please stop people. Whatever's motivating you, stop and tell them, I want a good story. I want to see something, not a story that you like, but a story you know will make sense and is commercially tenable.
Just
that's the biggest thing. Make it right.
Yeah.
Whatever that means, make it right.
Stop. Take a breath. Take a step back for 5 years. Then come out with amazing movies.
No, real.
Please, just give us good Star Wars again. Like we've had good we've been having good Star Wars, but give us amazing Episode 3 Star Wars again.
Like where's the Disney bought this and it should be amazing stuff that we were always promised.
Seriously, where's the freak of force nature Avalon or whatever? Just give us the Yuzong Vong. It's like
anything at this, like anything. Right, I'm with you.
Seriously.
I do think the Thrawn stuff is looking amazing. And I'm down for that. I think Ahsoka season 2 will thread a needle that we've been wanting to see for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked what they were doing.
Yeah.
And hey, if you miss Space Witches, we got some cool ones there. So I'm down.
Oh,
we did. You got the Witches of Dothmere. Like they do some cool stuff, but whatever. We'll see.
Yeah. Definitely look forward to seeing how that all plays out. But I don't know. It's been a heavy news cycle with a lot of bad news recently, which I understand, but I would like something positive to come out more than just Alien Romulus.
I agree.
So yeah, it's so bad that we have to have hackers go into Netflix. Is like, oh hey, all this stuff is coming out. Let's give it to everyone for free.
What is happening?
I don't know. So if you guys don't get the joke. A week or two ago, I don't actually remember what.
Yeah, it was, the 9th is when the story broke.
9th? Okay. So the 9th of August, it was reported that Netflix had come under a hack attack. And a lot of animation was released for free in its entirety or almost in its entirety to the internet. And that was major big news because not only did we get confirmation of what's coming out, we got to see the entirety of, or the majority of what is going to come out.
Yeah.
Netflix isn't going to have that user data that they so desperately need and want for their platform.
Well, people don't. So the one thing, point of order for what happened, so people understand fully, it isn't so much that Netflix themselves or the servers or the website you go to where you watch Netflix is not what got hacked. They have a production house that handles the ingestion of their new stuff from their various producers, all the different companies. So like Powerhouse, who does Masters of the Universe and Castlevania and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like were they involved in no, they weren't in that one. But like there's several things. They would deliver stuff to this post house. The post house digitizes it, gets everything ready for deployment onto the actual place that Netflix, where you actually go online and see it. And that is because that has slightly less security, because believe it or not, they're not delivering these things in a hard drive. They're delivering them through secure connections, whether it's a private funnel they have, who knows. And that what was attacked. So it's not like, in case you're thinking, oh my gosh, the website's easy to be hacked. It's not that. It's no,
it's not.
Yeah, a little more complex. But yeah, and it was the place that ingests all the animation, and that's what It was Arcane Season 2, Terminator Zero, Dan Da Dan, Ranma 1/2, the reboot, Spellbound, Plankton, the movie, all kinds of stuff. It's just unreal, like the stuff they lost, or at least that was exposed.
It's a very bad time. And also the first 3 episodes of Stranger Things season 5 as well.
What? Hold on, let me go on my torrent site. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. No, but I was like, that's amazing. Like, that's the one that I'm interested in.
We're gonna pick torrent.
We're gonna find it. No, I do not frequent 4chan. I'm sorry. That is not where I go to find my entertainment.
What's worse about this is not just that Netflix was attacked, because I mean Netflix is a big powerhouse. They're obviously going to get attacked from time to time. What's worse is that all this stuff got out. It was, I believe, an inside job, and what's worse is that it damaged the trust of the overall company to be a reputable, safe place to produce and make content without it being leaked or released to the public for free.
Agreed. And that the thing, and the other thing is, there's people out there, and if any of you are of the mindset I'm speaking now, taking Mr. Know-it-all hat off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking now as a guy who worked with companies like Netflix as a producer. I made some pilots. I've been very much involved in various points of that entry. Like, this affects a lot of people's potential careers, their jobs, whether or not, obviously a slew of people probably lost their jobs over this. It's way more than just the fun loving, hey, we get to see stuff new for free, blah, blah, blah. It's not. It's more than that, and it's that you get to, and I'm not even talking about the ethicalness of it, because people can argue the ethics of being going to the high seas for stuff all you want, but at the end of the day, there are people who are their jobs are on the line, and not just for the hack, but who Netflix is like, well, I guess we're not going to spend money on this thing again or whatever else, or we have to. It's like who knows what it could mean, and as an audience, we could lose some of these things as points of entertainment because of this, so it affects more than just it's big, we're sticking it to the man. No, you're sticking it to the man and the hundreds of thousands of people who worked on each of those projects.
You're sticking it. It's like you're not really sticking it to the man. You're just hurting yourself, because you're just sticking it to the fans. You're not going to have all this content that you want. Hey, you want a Stranger Things movie? Maybe not going to happen if you do this. Do you want a Plankton v Sonic the Hedgehog movie? Not going to happen. Do you want your Sonic fan fiction to become an animated series? Not going to happen.
Okay, come on. Do you want to know if Ranma 1/2 finally gets married? Not anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No, yeah, it's definitely a blow to a ginormous industry that has been in the public eye for over 2 decades. And I mean, like, I am not a Netflix fan. I've had Netflix in the past. I loved it when they first started with their mail-in movies, mail-in DVDs. That was amazing. I think they recently got rid of it, but I haven't been a Netflix supporter for past few years, just because they haven't made very many good decisions, and just their content has been pretty low brow and just general and meh at the very best. But like, no one should have to have an attack on them like this. No animated studio, no production team should have an attack like this, where all your hard work that you've done over years has been leaked to the public.
Yeah, I mean, come on, it's just silly.
It sucks. Like, I will use torrents. I will try my best to. I will try to find stuff for free if it's not easily accessible. But I will do my damnedest to watch the legal official content, the source, if I am able to do it. Why do you think I've got tons of DVDs and Blu-rays back here? I buy physical.
I saw Violent Night in theaters when it opened. Loved it.
Yes.
I loved it so much. I did find it, but but I had also pre-ordered, and I own it. I own it not on one but two platforms, and I own the physical, and I don't even own a DVD player right now. Though because of the Planet of the Apes, I probably am going to buy one now again.
Okay.
Because I definitely want that. But I mean, like, my point is, I get it, but if I love something enough, I support it.
Absolutely.
Because that's the only way you're going to get more. If I want a Violent Night sequel, I need to buy the dang-on movie.
Which I think they're doing.
Which I'm so happy to hear. Like that's how you do that. So if you want, like, these things that I'd said before, and there were plenty more, if you like them, you can't steal them, or they'll stop making them. And then what? Like, I didn't mean to get on a soapbox about this.
No, yeah.
I realize
I
from
absolutely
someone
agree.
that has touch points on the inside, I'm like, dude, this hurts a lot of people.
It really does. And what's sad is that people who are wholeheartedly pirates, wholeheartedly for sticking to production studios and whatnot, they don't really understand how bad it is when something like this happens, how much content they're going to be losing if something like this happens.
Agreed.
It really does suck. So yeah, this is something that needs to be fixed, and hopefully the leak gets plugged and everything goes back to normal, and
some cement shoes for somebody,
Hey, get that flex tape. Get that flex tape going.
For real.
Yeah. Get Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes 4K.
Bro.
We want that behind the scenes.
Get that.
We want that
It's
raw
so
footage.
good.
It's so gonna.
I would
so
love
good.
more movies to do that, by the way.
Yes. I would love to see a full raw edit of the first Avatar movie. Like, the first, that'd be amazing. I'm not an Avatar fan, but I would love to see the behind.
Oh my gosh, yeah! Seeing what the work they did, come on.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that is going to be it for us this episode. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. I've been Josh. That's my man, Mr. Know-It-All. Thank you for coming on again. It's been a delight. It's been a joy.
Mine too. No, for real, me too. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you.
Awesome. So that is going to be it for us. We will see you guys again next time. We will be at San Japan this upcoming week, so hopefully see you guys there or in the next episode. That is going to be it.